Hey guys, so the first thing I want to do is I want to tell you about the art book a little bit. Some classes have already done this, and for my Friday classes, I think for the most part I'm just getting started with this. So here is my example. Okay, so I've kind of put these together. Some are a little better put together than others, but you can see the name, the teacher's name, the art book. If I open it up, it's all the first sheet in here is gonna be your punch card. And now this is just like scrap paper. I am being resourceful and I'm reusing paper. So it's just scratch paper, but it's just gonna be for sketches. If I want to show you something, which we're going to do soon in just a few minutes, we're going to draw something in it. But this right here is the punch card, okay? What is a punch card? Well, a punch card is for good behavior. It's going to take the place of art books because so many of you have been losing art books. So if you have art books, you can bring them in and I'll swap them out for a punch. But I will... For example, each week my punch is going to be different. I might end up reusing a punch here or there, but for the most part, every week it's going to be different. Last week it was an elephant, so you can see there is my elephant punch. And I know Kevin was with me last week, and he helped me with the fabulous sample artwork that you're about to see. And I showed him how to do it. I taught him kind of the lesson, and then I let him do it for me so that I could show you all what a piece would look like when it's finished. So I'm going to go ahead and give him a punch because he was in my class and he was working really hard and quiet and really well behaved, and he finished it, and thank you for doing that. So here we go. There we go. He got an elephant punch. Okay. This week, the punch is a bear. It is a bear punch. There is my punch this week. It's a bear. So, your goal is to get as many punches as you can. If you have 3 punches, I will give you can get candy with it. If you have 5 punches, you can get into my treasure box with it. 5 punches, if you remember the things that were worth 10 art books, which is like the pencils and the small erasers, that's what you can get with 5 punches. But if you would like to save it, you can get even better things out of the treasure box. So that's how that's going to work. Let's see, what else? Now, this week in your book, I want you to, if you have already gotten it, if you haven't, go ahead and pause the video and let's get those passed out. You're going to open up to the first blank page. Okay, that's not a blank page. I get it. That's a blank page though, right there. Use that. Okay, just for an example. But I'm not going to write in Kevin's book. I'm going to get a sheet of paper to write on, and you're going to follow along with me. And now this is just a sketchy sketch. Don't worry if it's not perfect. This is just to give you an idea of what you're about to do on a bigger sheet of paper, okay? Okay, so this is not a white sheet of paper like yours might be, but here's what I'm going to do. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a heart. Now you may choose to draw a large heart, or you may choose to draw several small hearts, but let's try to fill the page as much as we can. Okay, if you have a hard time drawing a heart, I tell people draw 2 humps. Okay, 2 humps, 1 hump, and then there's another one right there. Okay, there we go. And then connect those humps with a V. Okay, so there we go. There's a heart. Now, you could have one big heart, or like I said, you could have several small hearts. Okay, so there are several hearts. Does yours need to be exactly like mine? No, it doesn't. Now, what I'm going to do, and hopefully when you get your paper, you're going to do this with a Sharpie, okay? So I'm going to get a Sharpie and trace over it just to show you. Okay, so you're going to want a Sharpie, and you're going to want to draw your hearts with a Sharpie. If you feel more comfortable drawing with a pencil first, you may do that. Okay. But for right now, you should just be practicing in your book. And you don't need to draw with a Sharpie just to practice in your book, okay? But when you start on the real one, you're going to want to use a Sharpie. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw horizontal lines. Now, which way does a horizontal line go? It goes side to side. This red line on my paper is horizontal, okay? And it can be as many as you want, and it can be, it doesn't have to be perfectly straight. There we go. There's some horizontal lines. Okay. Now, when I have that done, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw some vertical lines. And again, I have some rulers we might have to share, but I have a few rulers floating around. And if you want your lines straighter, you could use a ruler. Okay, so there we go. There is my heart, and there are my grids, and the Dine video about texture and art. You might have seen some hearts with some grids in the background like this. Now, the next thing I want to do is to use marker to color in my squares and my hearts. So I'm just going to grab some markers here. And now I'm going to color in, and you're going to do a much better job than me. But again, this is in my little just sketchy sketch. No big deal. I'm going so super fast. Now look, to make the heart stand out, you can see there's different shapes and they're separated by lines. Okay, so here is a shape right in here. I'm going to color that in. Not going to color the whole square, just that shape in there. Okay. Here's a shape right here. I'm going to color the other side too, I think. Okay. So, I'm going to get a different color now. And again, you're going to color much better than I am. But I'm going to color a few more squares. Okay. Get a different color. And now I'm going to color a few more squares. And basically, just like this, I am going to just keep going with this until I get my whole entire paper covered. You may choose to leave 1 or 2 little white squares, maybe here or there, because we don't have a white marker, right? We only have our colored markers. So I'm just gonna skip around and just do a few little squares here and there. And I will just keep coloring until I get my whole paper filled up with different colors. And then after I get all of my squares filled up, which I'm not gonna take all that much time doing this, for me, I mean you should, but I'm not going to. After you get all of this done, we're going to paint over it with water, if you're good, okay? Miss Bowman's gonna tell me if you're not good. But you're gonna paint over it. Miss Bowman's gonna tell me if you're good, if you're in my class on Friday, okay? But otherwise, if you're good, you will get to paint over all of this, each individual square, with water, and then we're gonna sprinkle salt on top of it, and it's gonna make texture just like Jim Dine in his artwork had texture. And now I'm gonna just, I'm gonna leave this at this. I'm not gonna finish it, but you should finish it. But you can see how leaving a few little squares here and there could be nice. So that's all I have, okay? So use a Sharpie first for your lines. Color it in with a regular marker. You may use a pencil first if you want. You may use a ruler. And I have a few templates, but we're gonna have to share those templates to draw a heart around if you would like to use them. You certainly may draw your own heart though if you want to do that. Okay, so that's all I have. Okay, be good guys. Bye.